Why do we still not have electric planes? The aviation industry emitted about 1 billion tons of carbon dioxide in 2019. That is about 2.5% of the global emissions. That does not sound like a lot, but it is almost as much as the entire continent of South America emits in a year. To reduce such amount of global emission, changes are needed to be made, and electrification is one of the big trends which will hopefully reduce that burden. Electric planes have been on people's mind for a while, but two big problems are keeping electric planes grounded. First, the technology is not quite ready. When you are trying to get an electric plane off the ground, you want a battery that packs a lot of punch in a little package. Batteries are not as efficient as gas, and they are probably not going to be for a while. A battery's efficiency or ability to hold power is measured in specific energy. Right now, even the best batteries have a specific energy of only 250 watt-hours per kilogram. But we have to get closer to 800 to really start flying. And that is still nothing compared to jet fuel's specific energy, which is nearly 12,000 watt-hours per kilogram. It is like those computers from the 80s. They were huge, but way less powerful than the sleek ones we have today. Right now, batteries are like those 80s computers. They are not as powerful as they need to be, and they are not just big, but they are also heavy. So if you want to add more power to a plane, you need to get a bigger battery. And to get that plane in air despite the weight, you will need an even bigger battery that is more powerful, but that means more weight. But even if engineers design a plane around the shortfalls in battery tech, they have to take on the industry's second hurdle, which is certification. In the US, that means getting permission from the Federal Aviation Administration to test and fly an electric plane. Companies have to prove every inch of their aircraft is safe, passing a series of tests, one of which is to make sure the battery cells won't catch fire. There are many guidelines surrounding flight safety. The reason being, if something goes wrong, you can't stop. You can't pull to the side of the road. There's only one place for that airplane to go. And so, the regulatory strictness is much higher. The requirements for reliability, redundancy, and safety are much higher for a good reason. The FAA amended its rules in 2016 to allow electric propulsion systems in airplanes built for up to 19 passengers. The real problem, though, is that certification, even with these amendments, takes years. So companies have gotten creative. They've started to retrofit old planes to get certified quicker. Retrofit refers to putting new technology in old, already certified systems to get their way around. Retrofitting has happened in phases. The first phase was from Slovenian company Pipistrel. It created the world's first all-electric two-seater plane back in 2007 by putting an electric engine in a glider. Gliders are safe to fly by definition, even without a functioning engine. So, we were able to experiment without putting anybody at risk or doing anyone harm. Today, those planes are used for pilot training. Over in Vancouver, electric motor manufacturer Magnix and Vancouver-based airline Harbour Air flew a retrofitted 62-year-old plane. A 15-minute test flight in December 2019 made it the world's first all-electric commercial plane to fly. The problem, though, is that it limits you to what the plane structure is already built for. So if the original motor is, say, 1000 pounds and you remove it, electric motors are smaller and lighter than gas ones. Those batteries are heavy. So you lose range because batteries for the same amount of power are so much heavier than fuel. Israeli company Eviation might have a solution. Instead of retrofitting an old plane, its engineers built a plane from scratch. The 9-seater plane Alice was designed around the battery to reduce weight. Each electric plane in development is different, but they all have one thing in common. They are going after flights under 500 miles. And while it may not seem like an impressive distance, these short-range electric planes could solve a major problem in travel. In 2018, A little less than half of all air tickets sold globally were for flights under 500 miles. But instead of using small, efficient planes designed for those shorter routes, often use expensive airliners built to fly thousands of miles. These planes are most efficient if they are able to cruise for a long period of time, but on a flight that is 50 minutes. These planes go up and they come right back down. Alice could save about $800 per flight hour compared to a normal turboprop plane. As for the distant future, electric aviation could come in all kinds of forms. Big players like Airbus, Boeing, and Rolls-Royce are betting on this future. To break out of that infinite power and weight loop, we are going to need more efficient batteries for electric planes to really take off. Interesting, isn't it? Make sure to like this video and comment what you think. We would love to see your response. Also, subscribe to our channel for more videos like these.